It is that time. Monday morning. A little late, but better than never. 7:18 Monday morning. Right here. So good. Share it. Bring your friends on board. Oh, man. We've got a discussion for you today. Woo! "36 seconds. Get yourself ready. Talking the power of your words. Right here on Winning in the Morning. Yes, indeed. It is that time. Monday morning, 7:19 Central Standard Time. Oh, you are ready. Kinsley Jordan, your winning coach. We're winning in the morning. I don't know if you knew it yet, but we are. That's what we do. That's why you're here. That's why you're sharing it right now. That's why you're taking this time to literally subscribe, hit the bell, hit the like button, all of the things you need to do to keep on getting this great content, because we are not covering something small today. I'll tell you that much. We're not in the business of wasting our time with small. We're just, that's not what we do. So before we go any farther, hit the like button, follow, share it on your profile. I'm telling you, if you want to help your friends, help them right now. Share it, like it, let them know. Also, before we go any farther, you also have the chance to literally join us. Yes. Right here, right now, you can join us. All you got to do is text WINNING 405-645-7789 right now. Your chance. You're going to join the Winning Network text group literally throughout the day. You're going to get encouragement, notes from us and our team, letting you know what you need to know every single day to keep on walking down the path of success. Okay, so today, listen, let's hop straight to it, because it is... well, there's a lot. There's a lot of awesomeness. You've heard me talk about it before, Dr. Caroline Leaf. Now, here's the deal. She's not live with us today. Literally, I was watching this weekend, and I said, this is way too good not to share. I have to share this today, because it's talking to honestly, of my favorite people that I love watching. One, Steven Furtick. Two, Dr. Caroline Leaf. But it was talking about the power of your words. Yeah, the power of your words. Yeah. Seriously. Your words have power. You know why? Because your mind hears what you say and it reacts to it. Now think about this. Whether you're a believer or not, whether you have a faith that is in sync with mine, whether you're a Christian or not, we still love you at the Winning Network. That doesn't change anything. Listen, it's a title. It's what's going on in your heart. That if we're aligned, awesome. If we're not, that's okay. But it does not change the power of what your words do, because literally the power of your words not only align with what science tells us, but it also aligns with how we were created, even though you and I may have a difference of opinion of what that is. For me, I know that I was created by my creator, God. And he put gifts, talents, skills, anointings, and abilities in me that nobody else has. Now, they may have something that's like, relatively close to it, and they may demonstrate the ability to be able to show something, to be able to do something kind of like I do. But nobody is able to do it like me. Just like there's nobody able to do the things that you're able to do, because you got these gifts. You do. I mean, come on. You've got gifts that you don't even give yourself credit for. Most of the time, you're talking yourself out of your ability to do things, to grow, to impact. So stop talking yourself out of it, because right now, I'm going to show you why convincing yourself and producing negative words out of your mouth, negative thoughts out of your mouth, are not only a waste of your time, but it literally builds and breeds toxicity in your mind. this morning. We got some great people on with us today. Gavin, dude, just crushing it this morning. Here it is. Boom, Gavin, let's go. That's what I'm talking about. We are getting going. Ty Lee, top of the morning to you. Gosh, it is so good to see you, friends, each and every day, right here on the Winning in the Morning with the Winning Network, with your winning coach. There's a lot of winning that takes place right now. So let's get to it. Literally right now, we're going to Steven Furtick, Dr. Caroline Leaf. It's something that Elevation Church had previously put on, but it's not something that I want to miss, and it's not something that I want you to miss, and it's not something I want any of us to miss, because it's just literally that good. So if you don't mind, let me know in the comment section below where you're watching from. What is the thought today? Do you have any questions? Throw them in the comment section. I want to hear what your questions are, because Friday, we're going to go through Q&A Friday. Yeah, we are. We're going to answer the questions. If you will be so bold, throw your question in the comment section. Ask it away. We are going to answer them, because we want to hear from you, and they can be anonymous. So if you don't feel comfortable sharing that, literally just send me a message on Facebook, YouTube. Well, can you send a message? Well, if you can't send a message, I tell you what. If you have a question, throw it on here. Where are you? Where are you? Join the text. Literally, if you have a question, just type question. Send it to 405-645-7789. Just text it to me. Type question and whatever your question is, and me and my team will get it, and we will talk about it on Friday. Cannot wait. Okay, let's get over to it this morning, because Dr. Caroline Leaf, Steven Furtick, they're just crushing it. They're just killing it this morning, and I cannot wait. Could not be more excited for what she has to say today. So it's this topic, literally, the power of your words. There it is. The power of your words, so incredibly good. Let's hop over to it right now. Dr. Caroline Leaf, your words have power. Yes, they do. Realize it. Here we go.
You know, we need to realize the profound impact of when you say something. You need to make sure that you mean that. Otherwise, you have cognitive dissonance in your brain. Where you're
Break
saying
that down a little bit.
Okay, so you're saying what you know you should be saying, because that's the culture. Mm-hmm. So Christianese is a culture, and it's a cultural trend, and this is how we speak, and this is what the preachers say. So you listen to the preachers, and they all say the same thing, but they just have their own styles. And I'm talking in general now. Obviously, each preacher is going to have a message that they deliver, but there's a certain language that is spoken in Christianese, and we're so used to hearing that we don't think about it. And that was my point that I was making earlier on. We don't really think about it. We recognize the familiar term, so we just repeat that, but then we don't actually absorb and make that part of our thinking and spend the 63 days, which is what it takes to build a long-term memory that will actually cause change. We're just saying those phrases over and over, but we don't really build them. They just kind of a surface thing that's hovering around. Well, I should be saying this because I'm in this cultural mindset. So it's actually toxic. It's a toxic tree, this wiry thing, because this is what I should be saying.
This tree, I've heard you talk about this before.
So that's a thought that represents, that's what thoughts look like in your brain. Thoughts are real things. Thoughts occupy mental real estate. A thought is a memory. We build.
Hold on. Just a second. Hold on a second. Because you just can't get blast past a couple things like this. Hold on. Your thought is literally, wait a minute, wrong camera angle. Here we go. Your thought is literally a living, tangible thing. A thought. Yeah, it's not just this figment of your imagination. Well, I know, it's not a figment of your imagination, but it's a literally physical thing. It is a burst of energy. It is this storage of energy, of storing that away in your mind. So if a thought is a literal physical thing, then you remember the words that you say, right? So when you say words, and she's going to get to this, but this is really important for you to realize, because I never realized this until I dove into this mentality and this mindset and learning this. Your thoughts, the words that you say that become memories and that become thoughts, are physical, tangible things that exist in your brain, that exist in your mind. Those are things being stored away. How silly, how ridiculous would it be for you to have a bag of trash in your house? That happens every Tuesday here at the Jordan Ranchero. Every Tuesday is trash day. How crazy would it be to take those bags of trash, tie them up, and throw them in your living room? No, I didn't freeze. I'm just pause for impact. That would be ridiculous. You would say, Kinsley, you're a slob. What are you doing? Why are you throwing trash in your living room? Oh my gosh, I'm going to submit you to hoarders. And then they're going to come through and they're going to climb over the piles of your trash and they're going to say, this is ridiculous. How could anybody live like this? Okay. Camera angle change for impact. Listen, are you doing this with your mind? Are you? I'm even standing up looking at you in the camera right now. Are you doing this with your mind? Are you taking those thoughts that are literally physical, tangible things and storing them away in the living space? And the most important thing you have, your brain. Are you taking your thoughts of the words and the toxicity that you have spoken and storing them away in your brain? You know what happens if you keep on putting trash in the same spot? It starts stinking. And it starts infecting everything around it. And then soon, before you know, that nice little living room that you used to live in is now a trash heap. Disgusting, smelling, infecting everything. Gross, disease running rampant. Just a thought. Is it possible that some of us have a trash heap of thoughts living in our brain that is a physical, tangible thing that she's talking about? And we're just allowing it to stay there. What impact do you think that has to the most powerful central command center of your being, your brain? What impact do you think that has to your day-to-day life, to your health, to your future thoughts, to your perspective of yourself, to what you think about your value? Okay. I know. I'm not the expert. We're getting back to the expert. I just had to say that. Friends, holy smokes. Your words have power. We're getting back to it. Here she goes. Okay, I'll back off to the races because, I got so excited about it. Here it is.
Build them. Every time we think, feel, and choose, we build a thought. So we design to build healthy thoughts. That's an unhealthy thought. So cognitive dissonance, if I say, God shall meet all my needs, but then I'm whining about everything, or bring all thoughts to captivity, and all you do is spend all day gossiping and whining and complaining and being a victim and judging others because they're different to you, well, then you're actually speaking that language. So that scripture actually is not, it's a cultural thing. It's not something you believe. You're saying it because it's expected of you, but actually this is where you're operating from. So now we have a contradiction between what you're saying, because what you're saying is coming from a toxic root. So it sounds good, but it's not good because it's not a reality in your life. That causes brain damage. So we're literally causing brain damage. That will cause nagging worry, nagging anxiety, because you're operating against your natural nature, which is if I say something, I must mean it.
What?
So it's actually toxic as opposed to healthy. Even though
Dr. Caroline Leaf, hold on. Please, madam, let's go back to that. Did she just say that it causes brain damage to have this disparity between reality and the things that we say? I'm pretty sure. Hold on. Wait. Hold on a second. Let's go back. There's no way. I must have missed that. Maybe I missed that. Here we go.
It's not good because it's not a reality in your life. That causes brain damage. So we're literally causing brain.
Yeah, friends. I'm pretty sure that's literally what she just said. And I'm pretty sure that cognitive dissonance she's talking about, this disparity between what we're saying and what we're not meaning, we'll take it a step farther. This disparity between these toxic things that we allow ourselves to say about ourselves, may it be the negativity, maybe it's the idea of, well, I'm not going to be able to do that. Maybe it's the idea of, well, we just don't have enough money for that. Maybe it's just, these things. I'm not saying there's not a difference. Steven Furtick is going to talk about this in a second. I'm not saying there's not a difference between acknowledging the actual present situation. Yeah, that's important. You can't live in a daydream. You have to acknowledge the situation for what it is. But there's a difference between acknowledging a situation for what it is with the intention of growing and recognizing and building a pathway forward. There's a difference between that and just talking about the negativity of the situation and just sitting there in it and continuing to let it live and fester and be. We have several people with us. Mindy Turner, my own sister. Oh, meine Schwester. Oh, hello. Guten Morgen. Sister from Downtown Enterprise. Jeremy Glenn, glad to have you with us. Stinking Thinking. You're absolutely right. And Gloria, the Gloria, miracle woman herself right there. I'm trying to spring clean my brain. That's good. Okay, let's get back to it. So important to realize literally can cause brain damage. Planting these thoughts, allowing this dysfunction to be existing. Why do it? I don't know. There's no reason for us to do it, but literally, let's go. Keep going.
Brain damage, that will cause nagging worry, nagging anxiety, because you're operating against your natural nature, which is if I say something, I must mean it. So it's actually toxic as opposed to healthy, even though the words sound healthy. Does that make sense?
Okay, so a toxic thought to you, it does make sense. And it's actually, to me, refreshing, because I'll never forget talking to a scripture quoting, Bible toting, Holy Ghost filled, devil chasing, Word of God believing person one time, and trying to explain to them that I was bad at math. And they said, don't say you're bad at math.
This is what I was
confess
talking
that.
about.
And I said, well, what should I confess? Now, this is not when I was 10 years old. This was at a stage in my life where I knew that I do not have the aptitude for this certain type of intelligence.
Which is okay.
And I've run into so much of that over time, don't say I have a headache, cancel that word, don't confess that.
Mm-hmm.
While I believe that's very scripturally powerful, that we have to use our tongue like a rudder, like James says, and all of that.
Good morning, Jody.
Where it's going to go. And it can get kooky. And the first time I was introduced to your teaching, I thought that might be what you would teach, that, hey, here's going to be a scientific spin on this idea that we need to confess what we want to possess and other things that rhyme all the time. Wouldn't that be sublime? And meanwhile, we're all addicted and we're all miserable, but now we're not allowed to say it, so it's even worse, and we end up punching a hole through a wall one day because we can't even get it out of our mouth.
Yeah.
And so that's what I wanted to hear you about, is this tension of being honest, being able to take a thought and say, wow, this is a dark thought. Some of our best literature and movies and the concepts that really connect with people's hearts, even some of the Psalms, if you look at David, he wasn't always making a positive confession.
Yeah.
And yet there seems to be a sense in which we do need to regulate what we allow ourselves to think on. So I was curious about that tension, because for me, and maybe it's just me, I go through seasons where I'm not gonna complain, I'm not gonna judge, I'm not gonna complain, I'm not gonna judge. And then the pendulum swings and I can't hold it anymore. And then I, eat all the Oreos and and go into road rage. And I wonder, is there a better place to live, not in this polarity of don't confess it when you have a bad thought, don't dwell on that, whatever things are lovely and true, where you almost feel like it's a legalistic sort of thought process that isn't allowed to be human, and the idea where we just let our minds run wild and say and think whatever we want, and in the name of honesty, just ruin our lives.
Well, what you've just said is outstanding. You've explained the problem, exactly how it is. So now let me give you the science behind that. So first of all, when you say something, you first thought about it. It's not physically possible to utter words that you haven't first got some foundation from. So even now, I'm speaking from my years of experience in the field of brain research and the mind-brain connection. I'm not just speaking randomly about, I couldn't give you a lecture on actuarial science because I don't have any knowledge about it. So that's an extreme example to gives you an understanding. So essentially, it starts with what you're thinking about. Your thinking has to have more attention paid to it. And that's why that every 10 seconds research is incredible. And what
let's talk about the 10, you have the every 10-second rule.
Yes, every 10-second rule. So neuroscientifically, I wanted to see, first of all, I wanted to see in my research, if we're supposed to control our thoughts, can we? How do we control our thoughts? What does it mean to control a thought? How often can you do it? All these were the questions that I was looking at in my research. What is the impact physically in the brain? What level of control do we have as humans? And all of it's very positive. We control every single thing that we utter by first thinking. So you think. As you're thinking, you are responding to the signals of life. So you're thinking about something that you've experienced, or the more you go through life, the more you have inside that you built inside of you. So you think about things from the inside, you respond to external signals.
Wow.
So the easiest thing is to think like now, we're talking about something that maybe a lot of people haven't heard about, so it's new information. So they're hearing stuff, they're seeing us, so there's incoming information. But we've all got a level of experience of ourselves. We all understand that we think, we all know about our inside feelings to a certain extent, etc. So there's existing memories coming up. So we have incoming signals, we have upcoming signals, and we as humans are able to stand back and observe our own upcoming signal and incoming signal and compare them. And we can do that every 10 seconds. And it's happening much faster on an unconscious level, but that's another whole level. So consciously and deliberately, we are designed to be very deliberate, very intentional, because as soon as you start paying attention, you start causing structural change in your brain. As soon as you start going beyond paying attention to the next 4 steps, because paying attention is the first step and there's 5 steps involved in building a memory, the next 4 steps turn that into an actual structural change. Thereafter, you keep repeating that process and you build something that then produces an output, which is what you say and what you do. What they're trying to do with the kind of description that you said, that religious kind of approach where you don't speak the negative, is this exists, but you're actually trying to take the external and put it into the internal without changing this. But it's got to start from here. You've actually got to be able to self-evaluate. Socrates once said, the unexamined life is not worth living. It is complete and utter self-regulation and self-evaluation. It's standing back and saying, okay, what is this issue that I'm facing? What am I doing? How am I reacting to my spouse, to my whatever? How am I doing as I wake up in the morning? What am I saying?
Wow. Okay. As we, hold on. It's like, Caroline, thank you so much for saying that. As you wake up in the morning. That's what thank you, friend. I'm just saying. Thank you this morning. Can I get in the camera? Thank you, Caroline. Yes, as we wake up in the morning, as we're talking about in the morning, seriously, good grief. There's several things right there. I just got to pause it for a second. There are several things. What are you saying in the morning? You remember a couple days ago, I was talking about the importance of emotional intelligence. She just mentioned 2 of those things that are critically important to your growth. You know, we talk about IQ, which is the intelligence quotient. That's basically how good are we how good are we engaging in educational concepts. How good are we at learning? How much information can we retain? That's all, you know, the book knowledge, the intelligence. That's where you hear the IQ all the time. However, there's this other thing called EQ, emotional quotient, or emotional intelligence. And she just mentioned, Darren Gibbs, I agree, brother. So much goodness. Oh, sorry. You guys have no idea what I'm talking about. There's this comment. Boom. Darren Gibbs said, love this stuff. What she was just talking about is literally 2 of the elements on the emotional intelligence scale. It's made up of 5 different areas, but right now we'll just talk about 2 of those. She talked about self-awareness and self-regulation. And she literally just right now, I'm not going to rewind it because I know you got stuff to get to, but she literally just right now told you that and asked you the question, what are the things that you're saying to yourself first thing in the morning? What are the things that you are coming out of your mouth numero uno in the morning? What are the words? What are the words that you're saying? This morning, right now, you're listening to this. Unless you're sleepwatching, which I don't know if that's the thing. Unless you're sleepwatching, you know exactly what you're doing right now. You're listening to Kinsley Jordan, your winning coach, winning in the morning. But what are the things that you have said about yourself already? What are the thoughts that you've thought about yourself already this morning? She talked about self-awareness and self-regulation, that our ability, before we have those thoughts, before they start going into long-term memory, before they start becoming a physical part of our brain, you have a choice to either make that thing a pile of trash in your mental living room, or to add it as a beautiful piece of furniture that belongs there. Something that builds up, that edifies that space of your mind. You have a choice. The words that you say in the morning, the words that you're declaring over your kids, the things, you want to talk about conviction? Let's talk about conviction for a second. When you talk to your children, when you talk to your spouse, when you talk to the people who who we declare, I just about said apparently love, but I'm totally guilty of this as well. When you talk to and speak to the people whom we love, are the words that you're speaking to them, over them, about them, around them, bags of trash? Or are they encouraging, edifying words that are going to live in your brain and in their brain and stay there? Because remember, the words we say turn into a memory, turn into a thought, and a thought is a physical, tangible thing inside your brain that stays there. What is it that you're putting inside of your brain? I'll use this example. My children have a propensity at times in the morning, just like right about now, because wonderful Brooke is taking care of it. My beautiful bride is handling it. My children have a propensity to be a little bit slow in getting around in the morning. And I think like any parent, you have this opportunity, this moment to be able to say one or two things. You can say, hey, here's our goal. We're walking out the door at 7:45. Hadley loves to be early to school. She is very intentional with her time. She loves to be on time. She wants to be the first one there. So here's an example. Are you saying, hey, I know you want to walk out the door at 7:45 because you're a very punctual person and I love that about your personality. So in order to accomplish this, you need to get yourself ready, make sure everything is done, make sure you have your backpack and notes and everything in the bag, make sure that we get breakfast. If you wouldn't mind checking, make sure Caden has his little water bottle too, so that we can walk out the door and accomplish the goal you want. That's one way of saying it. Or, total transparency, if you're anything like me at 7:43, is Hadley, we've got to go. Oh my gosh, how many times have I told you? I told you to get ready and you just still don't have that around? Or Hadley, you have to listen. But those are two completely different conversations. Those are two completely different word sets. Those are two completely different types of thoughts. One is this accusatory. One is this lack, this you're not good enough and you didn't accomplish this and you're failing and you're not doing. The other one is this growth attitude of saying, hey, guess what? You know what? You have a goal. You want to be there on time. I want to help you get there. Let's do this. This is what has to be accomplished. The only way you realize the words that are coming out of your mouth is to do these two things in emotional intelligence, to have self-awareness, to work on self-awareness and to focus on your self-regulation. Meaning, do you know what you're saying? Do you realize the words that are coming out of your mouth? Do you know the words coming out of my mouth right now? Are you paying attention to that? Or are you just letting them float out there to then become a trash bag in your mind and sit there and plunk it down and just sit there in thoughts? Several comments real quick. Want to throw them out there. Ooh, man, this is a great one. Jody, hold on. Jody said, I love that she puts it right back on track. I love that. Hold on. Right back. I love that she puts it right back on us. We're responsible for what we dwell on. A quick thought can pop up in and out, but the dwelling is up to us. So incredibly true. So incredibly true. Deborah Nelson, hello, friend. She said, I agree. Words matter. 100% true. Tylee, yes, I do the same thing. I know. I do as well. And this is why it's so important for us to take this time to have a little self-regulation, emotional intelligence, that's one of the categories, and self-awareness to know what we're saying and to know the impact of what we're saying. I have dealt with people my entire life that are very low on the self-awareness scale. They say things, words matter, words have power, words impact people, words impact you, words impact your health. We're going to get back to it. Dr. Caroline Lee, for in just a second. Words matter, but very few people take the time to intentionally, intrinsically learn themselves and learn their thoughts and listen to what they're saying. We can get so busy in life, we just keep on cranking out life, cranking out things, cranking out the list. But stopping and asking yourself these, as we talk about all the time, these hard questions, stopping and asking yourself these things is so important. It changes your life. Okay, let's get back to it because I know we have goals to accomplish and habits to build. We got to get to it. So let's go ahead and finish this out real quick right now with Dr. Caroline Leaf as she finishes this segment, and it's so incredibly powerful.
Feeling? Am I whining and moaning? Am I negative as I wake up in the morning? How am I responding to my kids, to my husband, to my wife? How am I going through the day to my friends, colleagues, if you're a student, whatever? What am I thinking about in every moment? Self-evaluation, deliberate, intentional regulation of this is coming in, this is the email, this is the phone call, this is the conversation, this is the situation, that's the incoming. What is my upcoming trigger? Toxic trigger, positive trigger. And I've got this combination. And you go into what we call in quantum physics superposition. And superposition is this phenomenal ability that we have as humans to stand back and observe, okay, I'm doing it right now. You're also doing it. Now that I said it, you're aware of it, and the audience will be as well. I'm literally watching myself respond to you. I'm very aware of how I sound, what I'm saying, my delivery, the content, the emotions behind it, and that's what we're supposed to be doing. I'm self-evaluating. I'm considering and I'm speaking to the Spirit of God as I'm doing this, saying, okay, what's the best answer to give Stephen? What is the best way of on? So there's a conversation going on in my head as I produce the words that I'm speaking. And that's the deliberate renewing of the mind. That's the deliberate bring all thoughts into captivity. That's the self-regulation that we actually physically are designed to do.
Because when I ever hear the take every thought captive.
Okay, we're going to pause right there. We're going to pause right there because we're going to continue this tomorrow. We really are. I promise we're going to. Because this idea of what your words say and our ability to capture what those words mean and the impact that our words have, I'm telling you, friends, if this didn't matter, if this really was of no consequence to anything that we did, if this truly had no impact into our lives, I'm telling you, I've seen it too many times. Literally, whether in my Air Force job, whether in my business with the Winning Network, whether in real estate stuff, it doesn't matter what it is. I see this all the time. The words you say literally prepare the way for what is to come next in your life. It does. Because they are planted in your mind. They become either a trash bag in the living room of your mind, or they become this beautiful piece of furniture in your mind. And our ability to impact our day-to-day, to impact the people around us, has everything to do with our ability to realize that our words are preparing the way. If you knew that, if you realized that your words had that much power, would your words be different today? You bet. Yeah, of course they'd be different today. So take the time right now. Do this. Subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell. I hope this has been encouraging. Of course it has been. We're winning in the morning. This is what we do right there. Beep, right there. You can't even see it. Right there, right over, right there. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell, share this with anybody. I love it too much. I love bringing this week. You know what? Let's get 20 live streaming just on Facebook, just on the Facebook group. Go over to the Winning Network, subscribe there. You can follow me there or really anywhere. But listen, let's keep the great content going for you because we've got to align our thinking, our mind, our actions. It's time to get winning this morning. Let's go. You got it. I believe in you. So does Hadley. She's right over here. Time to get to school. Hi. No, honey, you're over here. She said hi. All right, everybody. Listen, you have a blessed day, blessed morning. We will see you later right here, Winning Network.